What is up, people? This is the final ride of the Bandit. Yeah, because of everything that happened, basically this has just not become financially viable anymore. There's a couple of things that need doing, and I can't afford to get them done. For example, I don't know if you'll notice with the camera, hello, very nice, the shock. It's not gone, but it's not well. And I know you can get it rebuilt for not a lot, but that still involves it being rebuilt and me not having a shock for a while, which I can't really afford not to do. It's also due for a very expensive service. The fuel gauge still needs to get fixed. So, all in all, this is the last hurrah for the old girl. Not with Zojo, obviously. Zojo had the last video. This one I'll be talking through this bike, like what it's been like for the 40,000 miles. Well, hold on, how many have I done on it? Like 26,000 miles I've done on it. And what will be quite funny is my dad will be joining us on the ER6N today, and he has no idea that we're going to go pick a new bike up. I've got my paperwork in a bag, and I came up with some bullshit reason like, well, I want to go see what they can do for what might possibly be bikes. Like, it's best if I've got my information in case that helps them check something on their computer. See? Because I've got a little bit too much to stick down my front. Because when I got this, the fucking folder was like that thick. And I'm losing my bag. Shit. Ow, I hit myself in the head. So yeah, this is going to be fun, because he had a service booked for today. And I went over on Monday, I want to say, was it Monday or Tuesday? Yeah, Monday morning, to go and get some paperwork done. And I went to go and double check some stuff because we've had trouble with Experian fucking up my credit score. I mean, I can understand why my credit score wasn't excellent, but it shouldn't have been fucking 0 out of 999. That kind of was a little bit taking the piss. Oh, also one of my brake calipers is... I tried to unstick it myself and it like worked for about a day. And now it's just solid again. I think I'm getting a flat tyre. Well, turns out my dad's now on Twitter and he knows I'm getting a new bike. Just going to meet him at the petrol station because unlike me, he has to fill up. Yeah, he was trying to guess what I'm getting and somehow... I haven't really given that many hints on Twitter, but he still knows something. It's quite apt weather for it really, isn't it? It's that kind of gloomy, depressing, I'm having to get rid of her. It's obviously for you guys. She's been the bike in all my videos except for the test rides. And it's got a little bit of brightness for hoping for new things. I know there's going to be a lot of wind noise in this video and that sucks. That's what it is, there's a lot of wind noise in my fucking ears right now. So, at 42,000 miles, do I think this is a viable bike for people? Yes, quite simply, though I'd recommend it if you have a garage or somewhere to really store it, somewhere you can probably protect it because the paint won't peel off. Somewhere where you can just do the little jobs yourself, because it'll just save a lot. Heads up of warnings, things that I'm having in mind are things that are known to happen to Bandit 1250s. The starter motor apparently goes roughly about every 20,000 miles, something like that. Mine went at 35,000 miles, something like that, some time ago. And you apparently you can fit the same motor from the 650, but that might have to be, you know, as unreliable, just expensive. If you go on to, I think it's banditparts.co.uk, or just bandits.co.uk, you can get a motor for half the price, which apparently works better. Normally it's just because the magnets come unglued over time, and obviously then they stick to the actual coil in the middle and they rattle around. If you can glue them back on with a decent epoxy, then you can fix that, so that's something to account for. The regulator and rectifier has not been known to go, but you can get a stronger part from, I think it's Wiimoto, or possibly just Bandits as well. It's worth having a look around for that. Even if yours isn't broken, I recommend replacing it. I didn't do that on mine, obviously, because of financial reasons. It eats spark plugs. It never really happened to me, but apparently it can eat spark plugs. Like, you can put brand new spark plugs in and they will just wear so quickly. But even saying that, in the manual for it, you're supposed to change the spark plugs at the second service, or like the first big service, which is ridiculous, and you're supposed to do it every other big service after that. That's a lot on spark plugs. So just keep an eye out for that. But what else do you get? Well, you get maximum torque at 3,500 RPM. You get maximum power at 7,500 RPM. Anything between that is basically just playing with fun. You get just barrels of torque. You can get in top gear as quick as possible and just run it. The fuel gauge is laughable. That's another thing actually to remember. Just reset just reset one of the trips like I do when you fill it up, because it will say you're empty and you'll have like a gallon left, and then it will say you're empty and you'll have a litre left. It has this extra warning thing where it starts flashing, oh, you're really out of petrol, but that's varied between 1.5 litres and like a teaspoon. So it's best not to judge it by that, to be quite frank. Or if you're doing a regular route, just fill it up where you know you always fill it up. That's the best way to do it. As far as fuel economy goes, I've been getting between 40 and 50 miles to the gallon. 40 if I'm really pushing it and really acting like a twat on it. 50, you know, you can reach 55 just if you kind of squeeze it out. So it's quite a frugal bike considering it's a 4-cylinder. It'll never win any challenges for the most fuel efficient, but that's what it is. You've got a big comfy beastie. You've got a Shire horse. It won't win any Grand Nationals, but it'll pull a fucking plough through a field kind of thing. Though saying that, the seat's comfy, but after a while it starts to feel like you're sitting on a plank of wood because of the shape of it. That is normally after about 3 hours though, which if you haven't stopped by 3 hours, you should probably stop and, you know, stretch your legs, because you'll get fucking varicose veins or something. The clutch is, you know, a bit heavy. It's not for a lot of people. It is for some. Best thing you can do, just sit on one, give it a bit of a squeeze, just give it a quick run around the car park. The fueling can be a bit iffy in places. That's normally because the fuel filter's blocked, which I cleaned that on mine. I cleaned it once, I didn't seem to make a difference, but I'll clean it again. But I think the new spark plugs and that has kind of helped, so it's not as jerky now, you know, it's good. And a good couple of nice long runs, because just going to work and back was not good for it. I'll be honest, I'm feeling really sad now, because I'm getting rid of this. I'm not regretting the fact I'm getting rid of it, but at the same time, yes, what I need really is a workhorse. But then I just look at it as a workhorse. I don't look at it and go, that's something I can be fun with. Up to the Peak District, we went up to the Canton Fiddle. I've had some nice long journeys around, just kind of tootling about. It's the first bike I've owned where I can regularly exceed 100 miles an hour. Just because, fuck it. What was all the traffic? Oh, it's a Saturday, we're going into Norwich. Of course it's going to be busy. Everyone's like, oh, we've got the weekend off, let's go buy shoes. And that's not a sexist remark towards women. The amount of men I've seen buying new trainers at the moment is insane. I was going to let my dad give this one last run before I got it traded in, but then he kind of knows it's been traded in, but now he knows, but he's going to have to ride his anyway, so it's kind of a bit awkward. Also, now that the shock's going, another thing to hint at, around 40,000 miles the shock can start to sag. That is a fact. That's not just mine, that's a fact. At 42,000 miles it's kind of due for it. I didn't really click that, but being as all my savings disappeared when Zojo wasn't working, then hey ho. What you gonna do, son? Me and my dad always talk about biking. For the last 2 months I've had to keep my mouth very shut about the fact that I've been picking up a new bike. Or the fact I had a deposit down on the bike, and even then it wasn't so sure it was going to be right. And then finding out what I was getting, I loved his, like, he had a brilliant thing going through his head, and I'll put this to you lot and you can try and guess as well. Because we're going to C-Star, which does Ducatis and Kawasaki's, and unless I do PCP, I'm not affording Ducati, and I don't generally do PCP. So that's his logic there. So therefore he's going Ducati, and he said, and I said, I gave him a hint. I said it's a very similar engine size to yours. So therefore it's got to be the same as, or the newer version of what he's got. It's got to be the Z650, Ninja 650, the Vulcan S, or the Versys 650. Now he doesn't think I'd get the naked bike because I like my fairings, and he doesn't think I'd go for the Cruiser, which he's probably right. Which can only mean one thing. It's got to be The Versus or the Ninja 650? No, it should really be the Ninja 650 because I liked my ER6F. But the Versus would be more practical. So what do you guys think? It's a shame about your fan. I was going to say you got your one last chance for a drag race against this. I'm out of petrol. Oh my god, I put some petrol in so I wouldn't turn up. Because I feel like a bit of a twat when I trade a bike and there's no petrol in it. Like, right, I didn't fucking want to put any petrol in, that's your problem now. I know you've just filled that up for me, but fuck you. And, I've used it all up. Oh, yep, there's the cough. So, here we are. This will be the last time this gets turned off. See you, Bandit.